Are you wondering how the mechanics behind human speech are working? In today's video we'll talk about articulatory phonetics, a subfield of phonetics dealing with exactly those mechanics. So what even is articulatory phonetics? Articulatory phonetics studies the articulation and ways that humans produce speech. It explains how we produce speech via the interaction of different physiological structures. We'll come to them in a minute. Generally, articulatory phonetics is concerned with the transformation of aerodynamic energy, which is airflow through the vocal tract, into acoustic energy, which is then perceived by humans as sound. There are multiple components at work to create speech sounds. The main structures are air cavities, pistons, and air valves. Air cavities are containers of air molecules of specific volumes and masses. The main two cavities are seen relative to the glottis because it separates the two cavities. In this image we can see the glottis down there in the bottom right corner. Above the glottis there's the supraglottal cavity. It consists of the oral cavity, which is essentially your mouth, and the nasal cavity above, used for nasal sounds. Below the glottis is the subglottal cavity. The subglottal cavity is made up of the trachea, you can see there, and the lungs. Pistons are initiators, and they initiate a change in the volume or air pressure of the cavity. Important to understand is that a change in air pressure between two connected cavities leads to airflow between the cavities. Airflow is needed to create sound. In the articulatory system there are three pistons present. First, there is the larynx, creating a glottalic airstream via vertical movement of the larynx with a closed glottis. It is used for ejectives and implosives. Next, the tongue body is used to create a velaric airstream by changing the pressure within the oral cavity. This way, click consonants are produced. Lastly, there are the floor and walls of the chest, or more generally the physiological structures used to manipulate lung volume. These pistons are used to create a pulmonic airstream, which is used for the pulmonic consonants in the IPA, for example. Then there are air valves. Air valves are used to regulate the airflow between the cavities. If an air valve is open and there is a pressure difference between connecting cavities, there is airflow. The existing air valves are the glottis, which regulates between the supraglottal and subglottal cavities, the velopharyngeal port, which regulates between the oral and nasal cavities, the tongue to regulate between the oral cavity and the atmosphere outside the body, and the lips, which also regulate between the oral cavity and the atmosphere. These air valves can be considered kind of the active articulators relevant to the place of articulation when considering, for example, the pulmonic consonants of the IPA. With the lips, you create bilabial or labiodental sounds. The glottis is used for glottal sounds. The tongue is used for dental, alveolar, postalveolar, and so on. The velopharyngeal port is used for nasalization. These, together with air cavities and pistons, are the main components to produce human speech. If you now want to learn more about the IPA, these symbols, and the place and manner of articulation, click the video on the screen right now and learn more about this essential tool. And if you're still here now, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.